Guys, this is Gauri from Intellectual Literature. Today we talk about Jane Austen's Emma. Before that, kindly subscribe my channel. First we see plot summary in detail and then author's biography and characters. So let's go. Emma Woodhouse, she is rich, clever and independent woman at the age of 20 years. She lives with her father, Mr. Woodhouse, at Artfield. She decides that she will remain single forever and enjoy arranging marriages for others. Emma believes that she has successfully brought together Miss Taylor, who is the governess of Emma, and Mr. Weston. Weston was the neighbor of Emma, and she took pride in her skill as a matchmaker. Mr. George Knightley, he was the Emma's sister's husband's brother and close friend and well-wisher also. He often corrects her mistakes and gives her honest advice, but Emma never takes mind of his words. Emma decides to arrange a marriage for her friend Harriet. Emma pursues Harriet to reject Robert Martin's love proposal. Robert Martin was a kind young farmer. She plans to match Harriet with Mr. Elton, the local vicar. Mr. Elton was a higher class man, so he loves Emma, not Harriet. When he proposes to Emma, she rejects him and feels guilty for misleading Harriet. That time, Mr. Elton leaves for Bath and later returns with a wife. At this point, Mr. Knightley proves to be right in his judgment. Later, Frank Churchill, who is the son of Mr. Weston's first wife's son, visits Highbury. Mr. and Mrs. Weston hope that Frank and Emma will marry. At the time, Jane Fairfax, who is as talented and beautiful as Emma, arrives Highbury. Jane Fairfax secretly married, engaged with Frank Churchill. No one knows. Jane is poor and has been raised by the Campbells. Emma feels jealous of Jane. Emma and Frank spend more times together, and which makes Mr. George Knightley uncomfortable. Jane Fairfax receives a piano whose sender is unknown, but Frank Churchill secretly sends to Jane Fairfax. Suddenly, Frank Churchill leaves Highbury to visit his aunt Mrs. Churchill. Mrs. Churchill is ill, so Frank Churchill leaves Highbury. Emma becomes confused about her own feelings for Frank. I'm really in love with Frank? No. Okay, after that, Mr. and Mrs. Elton arrive. Mrs. Elton is proud and rude. She likes Jane Fairfax and dislikes Emma. Later, Harriet is insulted by some men at a fair. Both Mr. Knightley and Frank Churchill saves her. But Harriet loves George Knightley and tells Emma that she has fallen in love with the man who saved her. During the Box Hill picnic, Emma behaves badly and insults Miss Bates. Mr. Knightley scolds Emma for her unkind behavior. Emma feels ashamed and apologizes to Miss Bates. The next day, she went to visit Miss Bates. That place, Emma visits Jane Fairfax. Jane Fairfax decides to accept a job offer as a governess. Who gives this offer? Mrs. Elton. That time, a surprising truth was revealed because Mr. Frank Churchill's aunt, Mrs. Churchill, was died. So, Frank Churchill and Jane Fairfax's secret engagement was revealed. Emma worries about this because Emma plans to marry Harriet and Frank Churchill. So Emma feels worried. Harriet then admits that she is in love with Mr. Knightley, Mr. George Knightley only, not Frank Churchill. Emma becomes upset and realizes that she herself loves Mr. George Knightley. At that time, Mr. George Knightley proposes to Emma and she happily accepts. There are two problems to solve to marry Emma and George Knightley. One is Emma's father. Emma's father was ill person. He did not accept Emma's marriage because after marriage she leaves him. So he did not accept Emma's marriage. So George Knightley solves it. He tells Emma, after marriage, you stay with your father. I'm not worried about it. So, one problem was solved. Another problem is Harriet. Harriet life is now confused. So, Emma sends Harriet to stay with her sister in London. That place, Harriet again meets Robert Martin and he proposed and Harriet also accepted. The novel ends happily with 3 marriages: Robert Martin and Harriet Smith, Frank Churchill and Jane Fairfax, Mr. Knightley and Emma Woodhouse. Okay, now we see author's introduction. Author's biography. Jane Austen was born in 16th December 1775. She was the youngest daughter of her father. She had 7 siblings. She died aged 7, 1817. She buried at Winchester Cathedral. She was the greatest English novelist of the Romantic age. She began writing poems and stories during her teenage. Her teen works from 1787 to 1793 was compiled and named as Austen's Juvenilia by scholars. Jane Austen's first published novel was Sense and Sensibility. It released anonymously in 1811 as By a Lady, following the story of the Dashwood sisters, Eleanor and Mary Annie. They navigate love and courtship. Her other novels are Pride and Prejudice 1813, Mansfield Park 1814. Emma was published 1815 December 23rd, but the title page as written 1816. Northanger-Hamby. It was a posthumous work. 1818 it was published. And then Persuasion 1818, it also posthumous work. Posthumous means this work was published after the author's death. Lady Susan, also posthumous work, it was published 1871. Her unfinished fictions are Watson, The Watsons 1804, Sanditon 1817. Other works are Sir Charles Grandison, Plan of a Novel 1815. We already see Juvenilia. Juvenalia's main works only I given here. Juvenalia's volume 1's important works are Frederick and Elfrida, The Beautiful Cassandra. Juvenialia's volume 2nd important works are Love and Friendship, The History of England. Juvenalia's volume 3rd important works were Catherine and the Bowl. Now we talk about Emma. Emma's genre was comedy of manners, setting place in southern England, fictional village Highbury, and setting time was early 19th century. It was published 1816. Its publisher was John Murray. We see next major characters. Emma Woodhouse, she is the heroine of the novel, clever, rich, confident, and fond of matchmaking. Lives at High Hartfield. Mr. George Knightley, Emma's close friend and moral guide, owner of Donwell Abbey, sensible, kind, and honest person, eventually marries Emma. Mr. Henry Woodhouse, Emma's father, hypochondriac. Hypochondriac means always feel illness and overprotective of Emma, afraid of illness and change. And later he will changed. Harriet Smith, Emma's friend and matchmaking project, innocent and impressionable, ultimately marries Robert Martin. Important supporting characters are Frank Churchill, charming and flirtatious, secretly engaged to Jane Fairfax, misleads Emma and others. Jane Fairfax was intelligent, elegant, and reserved girl. Orphan also, she was the niece of Miss Bates, secret fiancée of Frank Churchill. Miss Taylor, Emma's former governess, marries Mr. Whitson, acts as a mother figure of Emma. Mr. Whitson, friendly and optimistic, father of Frank Churchill, husband of Mrs. Whitson. Minor characters are Miss Bates, talkative, kind and poor. Jane Fairfax, aunt. Mrs. Bates, Robert Martin, Mr. Robert Martin, Mrs. Cole, Mr. John Knightley. He was the brother of George Knightley and married Emma's sister Isabella Knightley. Isabella Knightley was the Emma's sister. And then some minor characters are Mr. Perry and Mrs. Perry. Now the video is closed. I hope all of you enjoy this video and learn something from this. Kindly share this with your friends who really want this, and if you really like this video, kindly like this and comment your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. This is Gauri from Intellectual Literature. Thank you. Bye-bye.